Good afternoon. I hope this daily connection finds you well. Many of you know that we have one confirmation student. His name is Justin, and we will begin our confirmation experience this fall virtually. And as a part of our time together, our next session will be a session about sharing our stories, our faith stories, those stories that make meaning to us, and how those stories then make connection. As Christians, as members of the Christian community, we lean into our faith stories by looking at scripture, by participating in a worshiping community, and then also connecting with those who help us make meaning, those individuals in our lives that help bring us closer to our faith, but also just help us be good and positive human beings in the world. So when you think about your journey of faith, what scriptures do you turn to? Do you have any favorites? Do you have friends and family that have inspired you or have impacted you in such a way that make your faith come alive? As I think about my faith journey, it depends on the day, but I like to wrestle in the Older Testament at times with the prophets, or to hear the call story of Samuel, or to hang out in the Gospels and to marvel at Jesus' work as he's teaching and preaching and praying. There are also times in which I grapple with the words from Paul and wondering how we can all be one body with many members. The stories in which we hold on to inform us, grant us wisdom, challenge us, but also affirm us that we are not alone. So on this day, as we know that we have a confirmation student who is going to be trying to figure out where his story lies in the midst of the greater story of faith, how do we as a faith community continue to nurture and support those who are in this journey, and also how do we support one another through our story, through our song, through our prayers, and through being the community gathered together. That makes it an interesting question in light of a pandemic in which we aren't necessarily able to be in a worshiping body together in a sanctuary, and yet we know that even in this virtual space, in this liminal space, we are connected. People watch at different times of day. People hear the story, hear the words, and know that others are hearing the same message. Those are connections. That is faith in action. And that is how the story continues to go. So on this day, as we continue to share in story, I invite you to share what stories make meaning to you. What's your favorite passage of scripture? I'd be curious to know. I hope you're able to enjoy some of the beauty of this day, and may God's light and love be with you always. And I'll see you soon.